Hey everybody, welcome to Kavanaugh's Corner. If you're a returning viewer or a subscriber, thank you so very much for coming back to the channel here. If you're new here, I review 4K Ultra HD Blu-rays and other physical media, all kinds of stuff here on the channel, mainly movies. I'm a big movie buff, so really my passion is with movies. Today I'm going to be reviewing a brand new release. This just came out November 18th. And this is a film that I have always loved. This is just such a fabulous movie in so many ways. This movie won 8 Academy Awards the year it came out back in 1985, which means this movie is celebrating its 40th anniversary, which is just crazy to me, but this is where we're at now. It's 2025, it's wild, but this movie is called Out of Africa. And this is one of my favorite films of all time. This is really a masterpiece to me. It is such a fabulous film. The characters, the acting, all the performances in this film are incredible. The late, great Robert Redford plays an incredible part in this movie, a very complicated character. But I really love the way that Redford portrays this part, even though his accent is kind of missing in action. It's still an amazing performance, and the masculinity combined with the fragility of his character is really something. And Meryl Streep is just a powerhouse in this, and her performance in this movie is just it's a tour de force, really. You really can't take your eyes off of her the entire film. And it's directed by Sidney Pollack, who just, again, hit another home run with this movie. And his run of films with Redford is kind of legendary. I even enjoy Havana, which is, again, kind of an infamous bomb type of film. But I really love all the movies these guys made together. One of the reasons why I always loved this movie is the imagery and the cinematography of this film. And the fact that this was shot on location, in Africa, in Kenya, and other locations. It's just kind of unbelievable that they were able to do this with no CGI. I mean, there's some rear projection, some blue screen shots here and there in a couple scenes, but for the most part, this movie is all real. And it's sad because we may never see another movie like this again. And it's just a marvel to look at. And so when I heard that this was coming out in a new 4K remaster, I was very excited. And today we're going to be talking about the picture quality, the audio quality, and the special features here on this new 4K edition of Out of Africa. And as always, in any of the reviews I do on the channel here, I always like to notate the fact that these are very subjective reviews. My opinion may differ wildly from yours. And also, 4K reviews like I do here, your experience may be different than mine. So I watch these on a 77-inch OLED. Again, you may have a completely different TV. You may have a different sound system. I watch this with a 5.1.2 surround sound system with tower speakers and a receiver and stuff like that. So really my reviews here are just so I can share my opinion of the disc here, and of course to give you kind of an idea of what you're getting yourself into if you do choose to purchase the disc. So to jump right into the review here, I do want to mention the fact that, this did come out on Blu-ray a while ago, like 13 years ago. This is the older Blu-ray here that came out back in 2012, I think it was. And this was one that I bought right away when it came out. You can even see it has like the 100th anniversary Universal slip on here and a nice little fold out with information about the movie. But honestly, this Blu-ray, it was okay, but I was never really crazy about the picture quality on this disc. It always kind of came off as a little fuzzy, a very, very soft kind of Blu-ray. And I don't know if there was any kind of digital noise reduction done or anything on this, but I do remember certain scenes being very, very soft and a lot of other scenes being extremely grainy, like overly grainy. And I don't mind film grain. I absolutely love film grain in any movie I watch, especially if it was shot on film. It was just kind of lackluster. It didn't really do anything for me. I am very, 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 very happy to say that Out of Africa here on 4K, and I'm saying this and I wish I was kidding, I think this is the best release of the year. And it's hard for me to say that because here we are in the middle of November, and I just got done watching Hard Boiled, which is one of the best releases of the year as well. But I think this takes the cake in terms of picture quality. This movie flattened me out when I watched this. It brought me to an emotional level when it started up. And I don't usually get like that, especially when it's a movie that I've seen quite a few times, like this one. This movie actually evoked an emotional response from me. And I watched this with my girlfriend who had never seen this before. And even she could tell that there was something going on where I was just like, oh my God, like it just looks so fabulous. And there's really no other way to explain it. This movie just looks immaculate. This does have Dolby Vision HDR on it. But the restoration work that was done here, I'm not sure what was done to this film, but it did look extraordinary with minor exceptions, with the few shots where you can clearly tell they're using some blue screen. There's one scene at the beginning in a snowy kind of area where they're definitely using some kind of blue screen to reshoot something. There's a conversation between Meryl Streep and Klaus Maria Brandauer at the beginning of the film. That has never looked good. There's one little conversation that has never looked good, no matter what version of this movie I've seen. It always looks lousy. And of course, there's that, famous biplane sequence that happens later on. And you can really see the difference in quality from the aerial shots that are filmed, obviously, out in the actual African landscape versus the, interior set shots with Meryl Streep and Redford in a set biplane, probably with a blue screen background. You could really see the difference. And even the grain structure changes in moments like that. But the rest of the movie just looked so incredible. I mean, there is so much life that has been brought back to this movie with the Dolby Vision HDR in here. And normally, I don't go on and on about HDR. I usually just talk about colors and things like that. This has made an enormous difference with this film. Skin tones are vastly improved now. There are many moments where I noticed things with people's just skin color. There's a character in the film that becomes ill kind of midway, a little past the midway point of the film. And the makeup, you can really see this heavy makeup that's on the actor in that scene now. But there's moments all throughout this movie that just flatten me out. There's a sunrise, sunset, in one scene in this film that just blew me out of the water. The oranges, the yellows, the profile shot of Redford with the rifle over his shoulder. It's just unbelievable. It is just unbelievable. And I have never seen this movie look this good. And I've seen this movie quite a few times. And this was like watching it for the first time all over again. The film grain is intact all throughout the film, like I mentioned earlier. It's never noisy, except for those moments where they use that rear projection or the blue screen, whatever it may have been. That effect it just didn't age well. That's got to be on the original negative. There's also some slow-mo, some slow motion used in a couple scenes where you can kind of see the grain pickup. And again, that's just the processing that probably happened with the film negative when they were working on this movie. Greens are just beautiful. The yellows are vibrant. The browns are just perfect. Everything about this movie just jumps out at you. It's extremely vivid, but it's vivid in a natural and a beautiful way. It's balanced like nothing else I've ever seen. There are some extraordinarily bright daylight sequences, and there are some really dimly lit nighttime scenes where you can see like the orangey yellow glow of candles that light like very, very dimly lit rooms, and the light off the candles reflecting onto the actors, and profile shots of actors' eyes, and everything else is draped in shadow. It's unbelievable looking. Detail level is also sky high on this disc. Inscriptions on items, there's a shot of a compass at one point. You can actually read like the little markers on the compass. Little clothing details, hair, makeup on the actors. It's just really all impressive. And even black levels on this disc are basically perfect. There are many, many nighttime sequences that have just been vastly improved in this. There's one scene in particular that's by like a campsite, by like a fire, and Redford and Meryl Streep are talking, and you can make out stuff in the shadows now that I could not see before. And there are other moments where the black levels are just so pitch black that you can't see something, and it's actually meant to be that way, but it just looks so much sharper and so much more accurate than it ever has been before. Picture quality alone, it's a 10 out of 10. It's just absolutely amazing from start to finish. The best 4K release I have seen all year, just on picture quality. I was flattened out by this thing. In terms of sound, we also have another home run here with sound. This has an all-new Dolby Atmos track, and I will admit, I was not expecting to be impressed by the Dolby Atmos track of Out of Africa. The older Blu-ray did have a pretty decent 5.1 DTS HD master audio track on the old one here, and it was very good. There were really no issues with that audio track. The music sounded great, the dialogue was fine, sound effects were good, nothing really too crazy. The surround sound track now has been expanded in an incredible way. Now, a lot of this movie is mainly in the front, but as you go out into the African landscapes, there's, a lot of different ambient sounds, animal sounds, rustling of grass and bushes and things like that. And you get that all around. And I did notice that this is a much more atmospheric track, a much more engrossing audio track than the previous Blu-ray was with that DTS HD. I noticed a big improvement with leveling on this disc. I noticed the audio on this, even though I did have to bump it up just a few notches, it was very, very loud at times. And I will say, John Barry's score with this Atmos track is absolutely beautiful. And it is one of my favorite scores of any film. It is just unbelievable. I mean, it brings a tear to my eye, honestly, and it's meant to do that. It really knocked it out of the park with this thing. Universal also carried over all of the legacy special features. Sadly, there were no new ones included on here, which is kind of a bummer. I would have loved to see like a new interview with Meryl Streep, just talking about her experiences on the film, but they did include the Song of Africa documentary, which is like a full theatrical length documentary making of the film that's included here. And there's also a feature length commentary with the late great Sidney Pollack, who passed away far too young. But his commentary is included on the disc here. There's also a selection of deleted scenes and a trailer. Because I will tell you right now, this is a must-buy. From picture quality to audio quality, they carried over the special features. Knockout. This is a perfect 4K release here. I bought this actually on groove.com, GRUV.com, and I'm glad I did because I actually got it early, and this does include the standard Blu-ray and a digital copy as well. So I'm dumping this. No need for that anymore. this is the way to go. This is the best presentation of the film that is on any kind of physical media anywhere, and I can't recommend it higher. I mean, this is just one of the all-time great 4K releases, and I'm glad because, in my opinion, this is one of the all-time great films. But that's all for today for Kavanaugh's Corner. I want to wish you guys all the very best. If you got this far into my review, I want to say thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. That really helps these videos kind of get out there in the old YouTube algorithm, as they say. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. If you know, the more subscribers I have, the more I can keep doing this. And I appreciate each and every one of you that has subscribed in the past. I cannot thank you enough. It really means a lot to me. If you want to pick up Out of Africa, I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, that link goes to Amazon. I'm not affiliated with Groove or anything like that. It's just where I bought it, and but it is available on Amazon. The price, as of the time of me making this video, is actually not that bad. So again, if you use that link, it does help me out here on the channel, but the best thing you can do is like and subscribe. That is the absolute best thing. But until next time, I just want to wish you all the very, very best. Please stay safe, keep collecting, and take it easy.